Welcome, dear viewers. Welcome once again, dear viewers. This is Kato Mukasa for Humanist TV Africa. This is Kato Mukasa for Humanist TV Africa. And of course, in the studios to run the slides, to manage the show is my producer, Dennis Bongole, who is in Uganda. And of course, I'm having a special guest, my brother, my friend, my colleague, Makeba, who is based in Kenya. Makeba, welcome, my friend.
Yes, hello, Kato Mukasa.
You are welcome, my dear colleague.
Thank you very much for hosting me.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear friend. Now, we have a long history with the person you see on the screen. We have a long history that goes back about 17 years ago. He was my student and a friend and a very, very good entertainer. In fact, he features in the book we are going to be launching today. And now, this is where we are. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. The channel is Humanist TV Africa. Humanist TV Africa has been here for the last 1 year and 8 months. We have been here operating this TV. Now, today we are launching a special book, and with my special friend and special guest of honor, who is Makeba, the Duchess of Excess. I think I'm going to give you a platform to introduce yourself because I don't know how to introduce you properly, honestly, and I should beg for pardon if I make any mistake. I'm going to give you a chance to introduce yourself. But before I do that, I want to tell the viewers that today, why I have my special guest is because, one, I know him. I haven't known him yesterday. I know him almost 20 years ago. That's one thing. Number two, I was his teacher. Number three, I know what he goes through, and to the extent of being in exile somewhere in Kenya. So he's close to me, and it means a lot to me. Because I know him, I know the troubles he goes through, I choose him to introduce this book to the world. The book is introduced to the world. Now, today we are launching a book. Some people are gay. Get over it. Some people are gay. Get over it. And we show in this book how dictators weaponize homosexuality to keep themselves in power. How dictators throughout the world weaponize homosexuality to keep themselves in power. The focus of this book is Africa. Now, this is a book launch, and I'm picking my friend, my student, my own, to be the guest of honor as we launch this book. Now, I'm going to give you the platform to at least tell the viewers who is this Makeba. Now, we're going to be doing two things. We're launching the book, but also putting you back to the platform where you belong. You are humanist, and you belong to the Humanist TV Africa. You're welcome.
Thank you, Kato Mukasa. First and foremost, let me take this opportunity to thank you so much to invite me so that we can launch the book. Some people are gay, get over it. I treasure that, and also giving me an opportunity to feature in the book. When you read the book, I'm there, and I shared my story about being a transgender from Uganda and where I'm in exile in Kenya. I shared it. Please, viewers, if you want to know each and everything, the story about Mama Makeba, just go to the YouTube channel. The book is there, and you can also share so that Kato Mukasa can share you the book. Second of all, let me first talk about who's Mama Makeba. Mama Makeba, the one you see on your screen. Mama Makeba grew up in Uganda, and Mama Makeba came to know that she's a trans woman. Later, when I was at the age of 20 years, long time ago, but I couldn't express myself because I was in a country whereby leaders there, they are so transphobia, they are so homophobia. So I couldn't express myself as a trans woman. And I had a lot of challenges. I had a lot of things, things where I went through when I was still in my country, Uganda, because I faced a lot of homophobia attacks, transphobia attacks. People wanted to kill me, threats. So I decided to run to Kenya so that I can get safety. And I'm here seeking asylum as a refugee. Maybe one day I'll get resettled and I go to a country whereby I can express myself as a trans woman and I have freedom. You know, trans women, we have a lot of challenges, mostly mentally. We are fighting to come up so that the world can know us. But there are some people who are making us to go down. So we have that challenge of mental health. And during mental health, you face a lot of things. It brings depression. Sometimes you go under medication. You find people going through drug abuse because of that mental health problem. Some people go do drug abuse, like the trans women, like the LGBTI community, because they don't want, but it's because of their mental health. They decide to go and take drugs so that they can feel at home, so that they can feel like they are pub, they have freedom. Yet in the long run, it's going to affect them. So I thank you, Mr. Kato, for bringing me up to share what trans women go through from their mother country and where we are seeking asylum. I can't say that I'm safe here in Kenya, no, because also Kenya, being a gay, being a trans woman, it's illegal. It's not allowed. Yeah. So I can't say that, oh, I reached in Kenya, I'm an exile, I have freedom. No, I don't have freedom. I'm telling you this because I go through a lot. I have to pay my rent, whereby being employed here in Kenya, you have to be with a working permit. They can't give you a working permit when you are a refugee, and moreover, a trans woman. You know, I have to look for medication. I've been sick almost 3 months, but I had to figure it out. Where can I get the treatment? I tried to contact people. Mr. Kato, you remember, I contacted you also, and I thank you for the support you gave me. Thank you so much, and the support is still giving me. I have to, you know, now these days I'm on that. Doctors told me that you have to eat this, you have to take this, so that you can regain power, so that you can be strong. I have to look for food as me personally. Yeah. So I beg the viewers to help us, the trans women, to help me, because as I speak now, I have, let me tell you, Mr. Kato, I have trans women. They ran out from Uganda. There are 8 of them because of the anti-homosexual bill that was passed by the president of Uganda and the government. Now, my Ugandan people, the trans women, they are running away because they are not safe. They are looking for safety in Kenya. They contacted me. They wanted some where to stay, like shelter. So I'm staying with them, but in a small house, not a big house, whereby I can support them slowly as they support me, you know. So those are the challenges we are going through. We are going through a lot. Being chased in your country because of who you are, because you can't express yourself. So, and coming to another country whereby it's also illegal to express yourself. you're like you really you can't be at peace. You can't have a peace of mind. So that's it, and that's why I'm here, and that's why Kato Mukasa contacted me so that I can share my story in the book. Thank you very much, Mr. Kato Mukasa.
Power to you, Mama Makeba. Power to you, Mama Makeba. That's why now I told you that once you give me the right name to use, I'm going to stick on that. Mama Makeba, now that's the name I'm going to be using. I should tell you one thing, the viewers, that today we are launching a book. We are launching a book titled Some People Are Gay. Get over it. Some people are gay. Get over it. It means that stop being homophobic, stop being ignorant, stop being a twat. Get over it. Some people are gay. I should tell you that Makeba there was my student, and I haven't seen him. I haven't seen her yet today. It has been many years ago. Now, people transit. In the book, I've explained to you what science says. That it is very possible to see me as a man, but when actually inside me, I'm different. It's very possible, and I've explained that in the book so that people are educated. That when I was growing up, I went to school with girls, and I went to school with girl boys.
True.
You see that someone is a boy but behaves like a girl. And I was in Catholic schools, and I've given these testimonies that I have relatives who are gay, I have friends who are gay. But when I say these things, people don't understand. That's why I said, let me bring my own who will not feel shy to say, here I am. Number two, because from the year 2007, I had an NGO in Uganda, which NGO was supporting homosexuals in Uganda. And I've worked with all the leaders. I've worked with Franka Mugisha. I've worked with Kasha Nabagesera. As I speak now, they have the book. They may even be following now. They may be watching us because I have worked with them. I've worked with Farouk. I've worked with SMARC. I've worked with these NGOs in Uganda. So the subject I'm talking about, I know it. Number two, the people that are being persecuted by a dictator called Museveni is persecuting my own friends, is persecuting my own relatives, is persecuting my own former students. Now, that's why I get concerned and say we as people in Africa must end the hating of gay people because they are part of us. Makeba was my student from senior one. People don't know this. Now I have to tell them this, that you are my student in senior one. You never at any one time disrespected any teacher. You never at any one time fought at school. In fact, you were the best entertainer at school, to the extent that you were the best dancer at school, to the extent that you were the one leading the school choir for years. It's on record, because that was my school. It's on record. Now, if someone was really so good for you at school, was excelling in class, and was excelling in extracurricular activity, but all of us knew that something was special with you because you were dancing the Kiganda dance, as they call it. And naturally, as I put it in my book, chapter 13, I put your story in chapter 13. In my book, I said that when I looked at you as a teacher, you were special in a way that the things you did were the things me as a man, a young man, that time I was at the university, couldn't do, because the dances you did were more of dances that could be done more easily by ladies, yet you were doing these dances. For the guys in Uganda know what I mean, that there are some dances, especially the traditional Chiganda dance, which a man may not easily wiggle the waist dance, but you were so perfect at that you were training the girls how to dance the Chiganda dance. In fact, you were leading the school choir for a long time. Now, I want to make it even easier for you to explain your story because I know your story. And two, because you accepted me to put your story in a book. And number three, because I have shared your story not only to Africans, but to the entire world. So as I talk with you right now, people all over the world know your story. And this is what makes me proud, that even when you are suffering today, you have been sick. I won't talk about the sickness online, but I know you have been sick. You send me photos when you are admitted. Now, I know that even when I cannot afford to give you everything that you need, at least my friends are aware, and that one time we are going to work out a solution. I can't promise tomorrow or today, but at least what I've done for you and all my colleagues is to give it publicity. Because at least when a problem is shared, is partly handled. A problem shared is partly solved. Now, we know that in Kenya, we have our Ugandan colleague, Mama Makeba, who was almost killed in Uganda. You're going to give that story here online, who was almost killed in Uganda, lynched for being who she is. And then she went to another intolerant country, where again she's not even safe. And we are looking for ways to make this person safe. And at the same time, I'm surprised that actually you are even helping others to escape from a people who want to kill them. Now, this is why this book becomes important. Some people are gay. Get over it. If us as Black people would accept that history in this book, I have given a history of homosexuality. And I've told people in this book, this is my second book, by the way. My first book came out in 2013. This is my second book on the same subject. The first book came out 10 years ago. This is the second book. Now, in this book, I tell people the history that, look, in Africa, homosexuality has been part of us. The Europeans never brought in homosexuality because it's part of nature. Some people are gay. We talk about the boy girls among the Zulu, among the Zande. We talk about queens who behave like men. We talk about the history of Black people having gay people among them. So ask a question, what is different today that Black people in Africa want to lynch their own when yesterday they never lynched them? The answer is that the politicians have got a chance that when they see people like Makeba, they want to give it as a scapegoat, as an excuse. They say, you see, we don't have money because the Bazungu have cut off funding because of ABCD. You see, we don't have rain because God is punishing us because of ABCD. Now, even in rain, they are going to kwasa. They are going to waiza. They are going to have an excuse to blame someone. Politicians are looking for a scapegoat. Who do we blame for our failures? A man like Museveni, a dictator, a thief, who has been terrorizing the country for the last 36 years, who has failed to make an impact, who has failed to get his people out of poverty, who has mortgaged our country, is giving an excuse of homosexuals. Plus his gullible ministers, plus his gullible members of parliament. They sit in their house of thieves, a house of thieves called parliament, and pass a law in March. And he sits in the state house, which has become monopolized, and he signs the law somewhere in May. Now we have a problem that you get these laws, you get these tough laws. An NGO like the one I was working with, the one I started, is put on a ban. You know, NGOs are now watched out because they are saying the law talks about promotion of homosexuality. Promotion of homosexuality. When I bring Makeba here on set and allow him to speak his mind, I'm promoting homosexuality. You can't imagine that when I go to schools and I talk about these issues as from a human rights perspective, I'm promoting it. That when I visit Farouk, and then you have worked with for so many years, and I talk with homosexuals there, and I train them about protecting themselves legally as a lawyer, legally as an economist, I teach them about entrepreneurship, I'm promoting homosexuality. Now it becomes a crime where I'm supposed to be in prison for 20 years for simply looking out for these people, going to talk with them, and giving them a training. Look, the law is clear. Makeba is a human being like me. There's no difference between me and that person there, you see. You all have the same sunlight. We all have bills to pay. In fact, you pay taxes as I do mine. You have responsibilities as I have responsibilities. We can all build our country. So we begin asking ourselves, why don't we people in Africa major in majors and leave the minors? That the problem of Africa is what? Is bad leadership, is corruption, is wars, is hunger. It's not homosexuality. Why don't we look for the real problems affecting Africa and we tackle them than getting an excuse and we base on an excuse? In law, we call it an alibi. You look for an excuse, say, I was not around. They are absent elsewhere, and they base on the homosexuals. Homosexuals, in my book, I argue that they have been used as a scapegoat. And ladies and gentlemen, today we are here to launch that book. Dennis is going to be putting it on the screen to show you the book you're launching. In the meantime, I'm going to invite Mama Makeba to briefly give us your story. What happened to you in a brutal Uganda that led you to escape? I'll put your story in the book, but I want you to actually tell the viewers what happened to you in the background as they show these photos. Dennis and Makeba, please, go ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Kato Mukasa, for the opportunity so that I can share my story to the viewers and to the public and to the world, the entire world. Yeah. Me, what made me to escape from Uganda, to run away? It was because of the homophobia attacks. When I was still in Uganda, you know, I used to keep a low profile. I didn't want people to, like, being gay is legal, but I didn't want people to get to know me more, that person is homosexuality. But you know, nature, as you said, some people are gay. Some people are gay. We are there. We are gay. No, you meet your community, you meet your friends who are like you. Then you come up, you say like, oh, I wasn't alone. There are some people who are like me. So I decided, I joined the community. I was in an organization whereby we used to do drama. We used to dance, like activism in music, dance, and drama. That organization was called Rainbow Riots. It was for LGBTI community, and it was led by a Swedish guy. But when people got to know that I'm in that organization, even I lost my job because they saw me on Facebook when I was in promoting homosexuality.
Let's go back to Makeba so that people can we can be able to say thank you so much, Dennis. Let us go back to the speaker. Yes, back to Makeba now. Yes, please go ahead, Mama.
They, you know, I lost my job because they told me that I was promoting homosexuality. Yet the organization doesn't do that. They don't promote homosexuality. Then I was given a termination letter without even paying my wage, you know. So I went through a lot. I decided to keep a low profile. I got a house in Salama, but I used to get visitors, friends who are gay. But unfortunately, what happened to me, I was raided by community members when I was there. Then they are like, you're promoting homosexuality, you're bringing your homosexuality, your caste here. We are not going to allow you. to be at our village because you are satanic. They called me names, with my boyfriend. Then they grabbed me out of the house, started beating me. Unfortunately, it was God is mercy, whereby I escaped. Then I ran away. When I ran away, I met my friend. I went to town. I met my friend there. I told him the story, what happened. Then my friend told me, you know what? You've been attacked several times because of the way you are. Then let me advise you. The best solution, you go to Kenya, go to UNHCR so that you can seek for security and safety. There they will help you, and you'll be resettled in a country whereby you can have a peace of mind, and you can express yourself the way you are as Mama Makeba, as a trans woman. Then that's why when I decided to run away from Uganda, then I came to Kenya. When I reached to Kenya, I contacted my friend on Facebook. That friend of mine, I told him I'm coming to Kenya for just 2 weeks. I want to do something there, then I'll go back to my country. But as in a Kenyan friend, he can't allow you to be with him for years and years. So I had to just to say that, so that 2 weeks, give me 2 weeks, and then I'll go back to Uganda. But actually, in my senses, I didn't want to go back to Uganda. I wasn't safe, but I wanted that where to start from in Kenya, because I didn't have anybody in Kenya. I didn't know anybody, But when I reached to that friend of mine, I asked him, do you know where UNHCR offices are? Because my friend told me, when you reach there, go to UNHCR offices, they'll help you. The guy told me, yeah, I know. Then I was like, I have to go there. I need to get some document from those guys. My friend, that guy told me, I will take you. The following morning, we went to UNHCR. Unfortunately, it was during COVID season. That's when the offices were closed. They were not working, and I was illegally staying in Kenya. I didn't have any document. The offices of UNHCR are closed. No one to help me. Then I was like, now I'm dead. If at all the police gets me here in Kenya, what am I going to do? They are going to Jesus Christ. I was like, they're going to take me back to Uganda, whereby I don't even no longer want to hear about Uganda, because I've gone through a lot. I've gone through a lot of trauma, persecution, But when I was chatting with another friend who was resettled in USA, it's called Omar. He told me, no, if the UNHCR offices are closed, what you have to do, there are some shelters which helps gay people, which helps LGBTI community members who are seeking for safety. I can connect you, then you go there. Then I was like, wow, it's amazing. You can connect me. That friend of mine connected me, and I went. I saw even my Ugandan friends, where it was a while without seeing them. They are here. They are seeking asylum. Then I'm like, wow, I'm in a right community. So I met my friends, and I worked on my papers with UNHCR, though I haven't yet resettled. But at least where I'm at now, I know that I'm here legally. I'm not illegally in Kenya. I'm here legally, and things are moving on smoothly well, though there are some challenges, but challenges are there. But how do you go through them? mostly we, the trans women, we have a lot of challenges compared to the other umbrellas in the LGBTI community. But trans women, you are fighting for you are people are seeing you as a man, but you are a woman. Yeah, you fight you are fighting you to show people who you are, and people as some people are like, no, you're not a woman. This thing you out. You're not a woman. You're a man. A lot of things are happening to us, but we are still resisting, and we shall resist so that the world can know us and they can accept us the way we are as trans women. Yeah, and they can know that we are existing and we are the same. We are like other people. We are like the straight guys, cisgenders. Yeah, we are like other people. We can also be important in the country. We can support the country. We can also be politician. We can also become presidents. Yeah, I might become a president in a certain country or in my country, Uganda. Huh? Yes, I'm a trans woman, but doesn't mean that if I'm a trans woman, I don't have that capacity. I have the capacity to be like other people, the so-called presidents, whereby they are fighting us that homosexuality is not an African thing. No, it's African things. We were there. Me, when I was growing up, I used to admire boys. And fun enough, when I was getting my weight dreams, everybody know weight dreams. If you are growing up, you dream those weight dreams. Me, I was dreaming about boys, not girls. So it started with me when I was growing up. Yes, I was when I was born in the hospital. I was a man. My my dick was there, but when I grew up, I started changing. My mind, my hormones started changing. Yes, I'm a man, but in me there is that woman thing which is there, which people can't see, but I want them to see it. Why? Because I'm that person. That's why when I go to the salon, I work on my hair, I work on my nails, I do makeup because it's me. And I love to do it. When I do it, I feel so happy.
Thank you so much.
I'm not forced to do that.
Thank you so much. I want to add something there about your history. People don't know. Remember, I've told them that I got to know you quite a number of years. In fact, you can remind me, which year did you join Senior One when I got to know you? Which year was that?
It was 1999.
Exactly. I was a first-year university student in 1999, and I went to teach to that school where I found Makeba. Now, I've shared this story. Now, you can imagine, 1999, how many years are those? Those are more than enough years to know someone. In fact, they are more than 20 years. Now, I've known this person for 20 years. Now, think about it. When I was your teacher, you were a little boy.
Yeah.
And I was a youth. I was a youthful first-year university student. And I taught you for 6 years. So which means that I observed you for some time. Now, this is what I observed. The first time I saw you in class, you were shy. That was one thing with you. You were very shy. Like you didn't carry yourself as a boy. You would, like someone who's so active. Like you were a bit shy, you were reserved. Then what shocked me is the way you wanted to do music and the way you had more friends who were girls.
True.
That you always kept the company of girls, and then you ended up leading a team of girls. This is a young boy, leading a team of girls for music. Now, the school became so popular, it even won at a diocesan level. I think even won at a district level, music competitions of the Catholic diocese. Yet, You were the one leading these girls to dance. You were the one leading them to sing. You had that vocals, and I remember I think you also played some instruments. Now,
Yeah.
these attributes to me were more of girlish, you know, to me. So when you came out later on and told me, look, actually, this is what I feel, I was not surprised because I saw you exactly in that shape many years ago. So when I see people who come out and talk things they don't know, I sympathize with them. Now, that's why I brought you here as someone who can give me a good testimony. Because, look, I've worked with hundreds of homosexuals. In Uganda, many of them know me because I've worked with them. But why did I pick you? Because your story, I know your story well. I may meet someone in a workshop, I don't know them. So how do I defend their story? I will as a lawyer because they are my clients. But your story, I have a history of your story. I saw you young, maybe you're about 13
Yeah.
years. So I saw you for 6 years in school. And I saw the transformation. I never saw you with girls. I mean, you were with girls, but I never saw you with a relationship. You were always minding your business, always dancing, always
True.
singing. You are the
Very
one
true.
the school won accolades, we won trophies because of you, because you were the leader. In fact, the president of Uganda came to our school, and even actually, you went to State House. You are going to say this story yourself, but I want to share it here. You went to State House courtesy of your singing. That even you went to meet the president of Uganda courtesy of your leadership. Now, when I
Yeah.
see people who simply abuse others because of their identity, because of their sex orientation, I shudder. I say, look what these twats. They do not, some people are gay. That's why I have this title, Some People Are Gay. Get over it. Newington was a boy I saw when he was about 12 years. And I always loved him for 6 years. I never knew his girlfriend, but I only knew that he was always with girls and dancing
Yeah.
and leading them even vocally. You were singing, you were a very good musician. So when he told me, look, I love saloon stuff, I love making hair, I love working on beautification, I was not surprised because I saw someone who loved beauty, who loved music, who loved dances. So to me, it never came as a surprise. To other people, it may be a surprise. So that's why me, I've been an advocate for fairness. I will advocate against homophobia. I will advocate against people killing prostitutes because they are people too. I will advocate for albinos. I will advocate for people in prison. I will advocate for anyone whose rights have been taken because that's what I am. I don't want to judge you because you know who you are. You know your body better than myself. So if
Yeah.
people put on those shoes that you don't know my body, you don't know my brain. This person knows her body. Who are you to say she's not what she is? What right do I have to say you are telling a lie? What right do I have? Because I don't live inside your brain. I don't live inside your body. You cannot be mad to leave your job. You had a good job you are doing in Uganda. They almost lynched you. Why should someone jeopardize his job? You're a marketing manager for a company. Why should someone jeopardize his good job for simply being what they want to be? It means that what they want to be is more than the job. You are in Kenya, you have no job. Why? Because of your orientation. But in Uganda, you had a job. So
Yeah.
until people realize that people are who they are and let them be for who they are, we shall not progress as people in Africa. I want to give you more 5 minutes of your talk. And then, of course, more about the challenges we are facing now in Nairobi, Kenya, and the team of people you are helping, because I want my viewers to hear that so that we can find a way forward after the show, because I want you to be the testimony. I don't want to speak for you. I want you to speak for yourself. Then after that speech, I'm going to take people through the book, then we shall be done. Back to you about the challenges now, and what do you think should be done to help you in this situation?
Yeah. Thank you very much again. The challenges which we are facing now here, which I'm facing, and my colleagues who have run away from Uganda to seek for asylum, to get safety here. It's mostly rent. because here in Nairobi, you have to rent a house and you have to pay landlord in time. Yeah, so that's a big challenge to us and a big challenge to me. Also medical, because uh, we have a lot of people are there, they are sick. Let me say that we have some people who are on drugs, ARVs. They need that care, they need that comfort. You might find that someone's supposed to go and refill the drug, but you don't have money, you don't have transport to let that person to go. So medical is also a challenge to us. Food, you know, food is everything also. We sometimes you get food, sometimes you don't get food. There are some good Samaritans whereby they can give you food for 1 month. Then when it gets finished, you start starving. You look for other good Samaritans to help you, because as per now we don't have jobs. We are 8 of us, but we don't have jobs whereby we can sustain ourselves, in say, paying the rent, paying food, medical, paying utilities. So those are the challenges mostly we have here, with me and my colleagues. So if there are some people there, the good Samaritans, who are willing to help us as a team, as a trans women, to pay for us rent, buying for us food, medical, please, 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 we are so appreciative and we are welcoming the support. You can pass through Kato Mukasa so that he can pass the support to us, because we are in touch now. And I pray to God that everybody, even one cent makes a difference to another person.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank
I'll
you very
stop you
much.
there. I have to say this on air that I wrote that book not to make money. I don't normally make money out of my books, but I want to say that whatever cent I get, I have to give 50% of that money to Kenya, and specifically to you and your team and the team of gay people in Kakuma camp. I want to dedicate 50% of whatever we get out of that book to give it back to you in person with your team, but also to the team in Kakuma in Kenya. And I want to say that I'm going to work out a plan to send you copies. I have hard copies already printed. I'm going to work out a plan to send you hard copies so that you can be able to have your own copy. So two things: we are going to ensure that when the book is sold, we'll send you some support. But also, before that, we are going to be looking for donors, for friends. I'll be in touch with you. Of course, I've tried initially, you know what I've done before, and I'm going to try to follow up with my contacts and see how we can help each other, how I can continue helping, but also in a bigger way this time. I want to still pursue my other contacts, I talked about, to ensure that at least the team in Kenya doesn't suffer the way it was suffering in Uganda. We want to have a change of that. So that's my promise. You are my student, you are my colleague, you are still part of me, and there's no way I can run away from you. I've been part of you, you have been part of my struggles. So we are going to fight together in this one until we reach somewhere. Now, having said that, Dennis, I want to encourage you to showcase the book. But first of all, let us show the book I wrote in 2013, because this is not the first book I wrote. This is the second book. I've been defending homosexuality for years. That's my book I wrote. The title is Unlearning the Myths About Homosexuality, Tackling Stereotypes and Busting Myths. Freedom and Rome Uganda. You see, Freedom and Rome Uganda is an NGO for homosexuals, which I worked with in 2013, 2014. This book was out. This was the first book I wrote to defend the rights of homosexuals in Uganda. Of course, I got challenges after writing it. I want to mention here. It has been terrible, but we keep on fighting because we think people deserve their rights no matter what. We think people are people, homosexuals are homosexuals. I am a heterosexual, but others are homosexuals, others are trans people. We have to respect each other. And my argument has been that our problems as Africans is not because of homosexuals. Our problem is leadership. We have a corrupt leadership. That's our problem, number one. Now, before we talk about homosexuals, let us talk about leaders who don't give power, like Museveni. Leaders who steal everything we make in a country. Leaders who steal our money and invest them elsewhere. Let us talk about them. Then let us go to the book in the last 10 minutes. The book cover, please, and other images of the book. Now, I'm going to talk briefly about this book. And remember, Dennis, if you can, to give us the link for Amazon. Kato Mukasa is my name. The title is Some People Are Gay, Get Over It. Some People Are Gay, Get Over It. Dennis, thank you so much. Dennis is the guy who has been working with me. I normally want to shield him from hate, but I should say here, if you want to hate him, it's on you. He's a guy who has been working on me. In fact, it's the guy behind designing this beautiful, cover. Dennis is my guy there. Not on the photo. It's the guy behind the creativity. Don't arrest him. If you arrest him, I will protest naked. If you arrest him because he designed the cover, I will protest naked. Now, Some People Are Gay, Get Over It. The title is Some People Are Gay, Get Over It, a tale of how dictatorships weaponized homosexuality and strategies to end homophobia in Africa. A tale of how dictatorships weaponized homosexuality and strategies to end homophobia in Africa. This title and the book is all about me. I've written it. Of course, I've had editors helping me out. I won't mention some names for keeping their safety, but my editor, who is in the UK, is my manager called Carrie Lovedown. Carrie Lovedown, who is my manager in Newcastle, edited this book for me, and she's the head of diversity, equity, and inclusion. She is a great woman. Edited my book, and the book is really up to standard. You are going to enjoy it because in this book, I'm going to tell you what is in this book, as then shows you the images. We have 3 parts of this book, and the first part 1, is titled The Weaponization of Homosexuality in Africa. It has this chapter. Chapter 1, Homosexuality in Africa, a situational analysis. Chapter 2, How Homosexuality Keeps Dictatorship in Power. Chapter 3, Homophobia is about ignorance and control. Chapter 4, Popular Myths about homosexuality. Chapter 5, David Bahati and the Kill the Gay Bill 2009. Chapter 6, the impact of the Anti-Homosexuality Act 2013, Chapter 7, Asman Basalirwa and the Kill the Gay Bill 2023. Asman Basalirwa disappointed me because of so many reasons I've mentioned in the book. Tell Asman Basalirwa that his friend Kato Mukasa has written about him in that book. He's an MP, he knows me, he's my friend, he's going to find me damning in that book. Now, the book also has part two of the book goes ahead to talk about ending homophobia. Chapter 2 has we have ending homophobia and the way forward, the home of homosexuals, Africa. Then chapter 16, homosexuality, what does science say? I tell you what science say about homosexuality in that book. Then I say some people get over it. I give the story of Nyonyi Ntono, of Mama Makeba, and of course I give a story of a few other people, but summarized. But the person I give a lot of space is Mama Makeba there, because I've followed this story very, very well. Of course, I talk about others, but briefly, I've done interviews almost throughout Africa, and those interviews are in that book. And the chapter 18 is about resisting homophobia when people fight back. I've told you stories of people who have fought back against homosexuality. I've mentioned Peter Tatchell, my friend in the UK, who has been advocating against homosexuality, against homophobia, has been advocating against homophobia for the last 30 to 40 years. Peter Tatchell, my friend in UK, has been advocating against homophobia in Africa and worldwide. And of course, chapter 19 is a call to action. In this chapter 19, I give you tips on how to stop homophobia. I give you tips on how to stop homophobia. What can we do to stop governments becoming homophobic? What can we do to stop workplaces becoming homophobic? What can we do to stop schools becoming homophobic? What can we do to stop parents becoming homophobic? That book provides those answers. It provides you not only the lamentations, it provides you with a blueprint, a way forward, which is well researched. What can we do to stop homophobia? That book gives you the answer how to stop homophobia. Remember, I have copies, hard copies that you can get easily when you contact us, but also I have lots of good copies on Amazon. Please visit Amazon if you want to support my effort to empower LGBT people, especially in Kenya. I'm talking about Kenya. My effort for this book, I want to support LGBT people in Kenya, people who are in camps in Kenya, and the family which is now organized by Mama Makeba. I want to support those 8 people plus Mama Makeba and the team in Kakuma. This is Linda Tilly, whom the book is dedicated. Linda Tilly died recently, and this book is dedicated to her because Linda Tilly, all her life, fought for the rights of homosexuals. And Linda Tilly settled over 46 families of homosexuals in Kakuma, helped them escape Uganda. So this book is dedicated to my friend, Linda Tilly, because Linda Tilly worked with me and, of course, with other people to support the rights of homosexuals in Africa. And she helped to rescue homosexuals who are being killed in Uganda, and she took them to exile in Kenya. That is Linda Tilly. I dedicate this book to my foreign comrade who died last month, who died September, I think, not last month, September, who died September, and we remember her. And this book has been dedicated to Linda Tilly. Remember, the book has only 202 pages. It's a small book, but well written. It has nice photos in color. It's a small book, but well researched, has been well edited by 4 people. One of them is Akare Lovedon, my manager at the NGI I work with in Newcastle, the head of DEI, Diversity, Equity and Inclusion, the head of Mind in Newcastle, who is my manager. Akare Lovedon has edited this book, and of course, the team at Newcastle, where I work, has given me lots of support for this book. And of course, Mr. Paul Ewans has supported the publication of this book. I want to thank him so much. And of course, we are going to be giving free copies to friends. We have free copies to people, especially in East Africa, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda. We have some copies for you. I'm going to make sure that copies are delivered to Kenya by the end of next week. They must be able to reach to Makeba and team, and of course to other people. I'm going to make sure that books reach in Uganda. Already Uganda, some of my colleagues have got the books so far. I'm going to ensure that books reach in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and Rwanda. I'm looking at East Africa first because it's much easier for me to distribute books. But colleagues who are elsewhere in the world can reach out to me, and we see how to help them. Then thank you so much. We have 6 minutes to go. Back to me and the Makeba, and then we shall close the book launch. The book is launched courtesy of Makeba in the studio and courtesy of all of you who have supported me. Thank you so much. The editors, Karen Lovedon, Professor Olo David, and the 2 others I want to mention. Of course, I'll mention Dennis for making that beautiful cover. And I said, whoever touches my people, I'm going to come on TV and strip naked. If you touch my people because they helped me to publish this book, I will protest. If you touch Makeba and I know she's in trouble, I will protest here. And I come bare chest. And then I say, I'm not going to eat food until this person is released. So that is it. We have launched this book. The book is launched. I want to take it back to you, Makeba. Your final words for the launch. What are you encouraging your colleagues? I'm going to make sure that next week, I'm going to make sure that some books are delivered to you so that we have the hard copies. And again, we're going to launch a campaign to see how do we support the Kenyan team. What's on my mind right now is the Kenyan team. How do we support the Kenyan team? Because for you, you have almost nothing. My colleagues in Uganda have got some support. I should be fair. But the team in Kenya needs lots of support. So back to you as we conclude, Makeba.
All right. What I can say, what I can conclude is I want to first thank you for giving me that opportunity so that I can share my story, and it has gone to the world. And I also want to advise people people who are like me that please don't hesitate to share your story. Don't hesitate to talk to people, because if you talk to people, you get healed. If me, I didn't talk to you, Kato Mukasa, I would have been like in a mental hospital. But I've been talking to you, and you've been advising me, you've been supporting me, and whereby I'm now having a peace of mind, because when I get a challenge, I come to you. So thank you so much for even writing the book, and thanks all the team who's behind the book, the editors, for printers, all of you. Thank you so much for making this book to be there, and it's going to open people's mind and people's eyes, and when they read it, they'll get to know that people are born gay. People are gay. Get over it. Thank you.
Get over it. That's a good conclusion. People are born gay. People are gay. Some people are different. Not all of us are going to be heterosexuals. Some people are gay, others are not. Get over it. Some people are gay. Get over it. That's the book we are launching today, and it is launched with my colleague Mama Makeba in Kenya, to whom the book is dedicated to whom a chapter has been written to take care of her story, because I know her story. We have launched this book today. We shall keep in touch. We shall bring you back and back and back on set, because this is our TV. Any challenges, we can always share them online right here so that people can be able to follow. So we shall bring you back, and then we'll talk more about these issues. You are our panelists now in a way. We shall give you more space, even including giving a program on our TV where you host your people and talk about things you want on this TV. We simply have a program for you. You manage it yourself. You know what you want to talk about, and you share your kabozi with your people. Yes. So we have that offer right on this TV, and this TV now is operating each day. We are no longer operating on Saturday. You featured here before, but we no longer operate Saturday alone. Now we are operating from Monday to Monday. So it's up to you to choose a day and say, this day is for us, the trans, to showcase, to talk about ourselves, our issues on our channel. You have a platform right here. Thank you so much for honoring my invitation, Mama Makeba.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, everyone who has helped me to publish this book, from Karen Lovedown, my manager in Newcastle, to Professor Law for editing the book, Karen Lovedown for editing and writing the forward, to Mr. Paul Ewan for sponsoring the printing of copies, and of course to Dennis for designing that cover, which is terrorizing everyone. You know, the cover is so intimidating. It shows a dictator trying to write a law into effect. Yes, some people are gay. Get over it. Dennis made that cover. Very creative man there. Now, the anti-homosexuality bill, we come for you. We are coming for this act, which has become an act. We shall come for you. We shall go to courts of law and challenge that hopeless act, which criminalizes people because of who they are. People are people. Some people are gay, others are straight. Live with it. Live and let live. Thank you so much, Mama Makeba. Thank you so much, Dennis. Thank you so much, everyone. We sign out, but we are going to come back very soon on the show and on your own show on this very TV. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
All right. Say bye-bye.
Yeah.